Howdy. Well, this is probably first of a few times we're going to do this. We're going to try and do maybe one a week or once a fortnight. We might try and go live, show people through some of the trailers, what we have going on here. Anyone that's not sort of near us might want to have a look through or ask us some questions. We can sort of show you through, answer any questions you might have, and I guess sort of give you a bit of an idea of what these trailers are all about. Now, I haven't got any fancy camera equipment or anything like that. I'm just using my iPhone and I'm holding it. So if the video is a bit shaky, that's probably one too many coffees this morning. But I guess the main thing is if you're interested in seeing some of the models, you want to see the Reconn, I can show you through that. I've got two Reconns here at the moment. So if we look at, I might even go and get one of the guys to hold the phone, and while I show you through this first bit. So bear with me. Let's get him to come down.
Hello.
You want to come hold the camera for me?
Okay.
Thanks.
See ya.
So Shani's going to come down and hold the camera, make it a little bit easier to sort of show you around. So we've got two Reconns here at the moment. Now, for those of you that don't know, the lifestyle camper trailers, Reconn is the Australian-made, fully Australian-made, made in Brisbane, off-road camper. It's got the one of its neat little features, or one of its unique differences, is the big kitchen. So, hey Daz.
Hey folks.
Just sort of showing people through. I just needed someone to hold the camera.
So the camera, yeah, we can work with that.
I'll pass you over to Daz. Hang on, let me flip you around. There you are, mate. So it might be a bit easier to get a little bit further away than an arm's length. Like I was saying, the Reconns, Lifestyle's Australian-made off-road camper trailer. So there's a few different layouts. There's all got the same style of kitchen. We can do different layouts inside. We can do ensuite, we can do bunks, we can do triple bunks, standard dinette, whatever you want inside, all different features and different sort of cupboards and colours and things like that. But I guess starting from the outside, if we walk our way around, we'll give you a bit of an overview of the outside, and then I'll show you inside. We've got two different Reconns here, so you can see some of the differences. As we go through, if you've got any questions, just fire them away. Daz will read them out, I suppose. Here and there, we might stop every few minutes or whatever if we get some good interest. Like I say, this is brand new for us, so be kind, be nice to us. But yeah, as you can see, we've got a nice big kitchen. So this is one of the neat things of the Reconn, I suppose. If you were to pull up on the side of the road, imagine you're travelling down the road and you're stopping for lunch. Really, really quick and simple. You can raise this big single door. And then if you can see, I don't know if you can get in there, Dad, but you can see this seal along the along the top here. You've got a seal that runs along this whole hinge. So any water that comes down catches in that seal and then runs down the side. So then this actually becomes a bit of an awning. So if you're under the shade, and if it's drizzling, you've got some coverage for your kitchen area. So you've got hot and cold running water. Gas hot water system standard on the Reconn. That's tucked in under the seat inside. Bit of a storage area underneath. I need the key. You've got your 2-burner stove, so just a Dinette or SMEB stove. So that's standard. Drops down. You've got a little bit of a workspace there as well. This is the worst bundle of keys we've got. So as you can see, none of this is scripted. This one's literally coming off the truck, so it's all locked up because it was on the truck. So underneath, we've got our gas hose, so that's a requirement. We need to connect that in the back here with a bayonet fitting. Connect that in, and that just saves, I suppose, travelling down the road with your gas connected, creating a pipe bomb out of your kitchen area. pretty straightforward, just like every other gas stove. Turn it on. It's got a flame out feature and stuff on there as well, so if the wind blows it out, it'll shut the gas down. But great little cooker there. You've got heaps of storage at the back here, so you can open all of these. Typically, we sort of say in here you'd put things like maybe your coffee machine or something you're going to pull out when you get into camp, because as you can see, when this is open, it's sort of difficult to get into that compartment. So anything it's going to be the first thing you grab out every single time you set up. Usually store in there. Everything else is accessible fairly easily. So you can get into all these compartments. We see all sorts of cool ideas from customers with. They'll go to Howard Storage World or IKEA or whatever and buy some little containers and bits and pieces, and they'll load this up. So we've got a few forums or a few Facebook pages you can jump on, talk to different owners, get some ideas. But we deliver them obviously as a blank canvas, and everyone's different. They set it up how they like. It's part of the fun. So all these cupboard doors we can do in a few different colours. We've got this silver, or we do a dark charcoal sort of style like on the other one. Got up top, you've got more space for cups and bits and pieces. So heaps more storage. This is really the iconic part of the Reconn. Is just the sheer amount of storage that you've got, and just big storage, bulky storage. Like you close this up and you've got this huge space here that you could put your barbecue in. You could store stuff in this space if you can secure it down. So as I say, once you get to camp, the fun starts. You can start modifying it to suit your requirements. But just the simplicity in opening that door, nice big area, perfect height. You're under cover. It's almost silly how simple a design it is, but how effectively it works. So I guess moving through, we've got some electrics. So everyone's familiar with Red Arc. We run a Manager 30 standard in the Reconn. We can set that up with more batteries, more solar. Standard comes with one battery, one solar panel. We've got our water as a flow meter. So this actually counts backwards from. So let's just say we've got 180 litres of water. We reset it, and it'll when we run the tap, it'll count backwards and tell us how many litres are remaining. So there's a little flow meter. So these work really well. Maybe a little bit better than the level gauges. A little more accurate, and I guess critically gives you exactly how many litres you've got there, based on what's flowed through the flow meter. Now, if you drain your tanks, if you obviously run some water out of your tanks that don't go through the flow meter, then it's not going to work. But we find it works really well, and a little less susceptible to the van needing to be perfectly level for it to be accurate as well. So that's the kitchen area. This one's got actuators. I'll show you how that works later on. But as you can see, it really is something we need to know when we build the van, because it is actually embedded in the van. So this is something that's probably one of those, stud sizes, offsets, which we can change to suit your vehicle. It's all important stuff that we need to know when we're building the van. So when we do the quote, we run through that with you. Walk around the back. So I've got a creeper and a torch here. I won't go down there yet, but I guess you can join the dots as to what's going to happen later. So spare wheel on the back, you can run it on either side. We can do a firewood basket. I haven't got one here that I can show you, but we do an aluminium firewood basket for you to put firewood on. The neat thing with this is you can have one spare wheel for the trailer, and if for some reason you don't have matching wheels and tyres, you could potentially run a second spare wheel that matches the car. So you might have 6 stud on here, and then you change to a Land Cruiser. You'll get a 5 stud. Although it'd be nice to have all the same wheels and tyres, if nothing else, just by having a Reconn, you'll have this provision here for a second spare wheel. You can phone us, we'll send you a bracket, and you can bolt on your Land Cruiser wheel on the back of the van. So at least you've got one of each. And then ideally, if you're buying a new one, we'll spec it up so it's matching wheels and tyres. There's a few intricacies with all that, but we run through all that with you. At the back, we've got our lifting system, nice big window. LED light at the back. All our lights are all LED lights throughout. So even the indicators, tail lights, number plate light, everything is all LED. So we've got a nice big flat surface. Really, on an off-road van, you don't want any windows or openings or anything on the back of the van. That's just going to let dust in. That's all. Obviously, as you travel along, that's going to accumulate dust. So really, this is a more a utilitarian sort of space. You're not going to do a whole lot else back here. Maybe run a couple of garbage bags, as I said, plywood rack, that sort of stuff. So around the other side, so this, as I say, this is the big part of the Reconn. This is the big, one of the I guess major differences between this and other vans, similar to this, is just the sheer amount of space by having this bed up high. So we don't have floor space inside the van and an island bed you can walk around. And by not having that and having the bed up high, we create all this void underneath where we can store. So you can see it's just an enormous space. So this is, what's this, probably a metre deep by a couple of metres, 1.8-ish metres wide. We've seen, and I'll show you on the other one, we can set this up as a bunk, as a third bed if you want, but we've seen all sorts of stuff, push bikes, mountain bikes, all your paraphernalia you're going to take with your camping, especially mountain bikes and pushies and stuff, can get 2, 3, 4, 5 grand, some of them 10 grand. You've got a lockable, dust-free, weatherproof area you can put it all. And even on top here, you've got these aluminium rails, you can hang stuff, suspend it. Got a couple of customers that just have some tie-down rails on top. Works really well. So, in addition to this, the other neat feature is, I guess, the subfloor. Because we don't walk in here, this is just bedding above. This is just a mattress. We have no need to walk here. We don't need the headspace, so we can create a false floor. So if you can see here, you got this void. And imagine the kitchen on the other side, you had the kitchen bench, and you had that door on the other side where you can put stuff underneath. Well, in that void is our water tanks. So we've got our water tanks, our electrics, our battery, all our services. So you sort of might ask, well, what's the point in that? With any off-road van, anyone that's travelled, and it comes from experience, unfortunately, it's not something that's maybe... unless you've done it and travelled and experienced it, you're not really going to know. But you look at all these fittings, typically on a normal van, especially an on-road van, all this sort of stuff suspends down below the chassis. So it's all plastic and rubber. So all this is normally down there getting smashed by sticks and rocks and whatever else. So by keeping it all above floor level in this space here, this stays perfectly clean. Stays out of the weather, the rain, the sticks, the rocks, all the harsh sort of off-road, I guess, country you're travelling through, and saves it from getting torn off. So it I guess lasts a lot longer. If you're going to have any issues, you might have a water leak, or you might come across a problem. It's obviously very easy to access, and it's all nice and clean, so it's easy to maintain too. So it's going to be very, very obvious if you've got a water leak where it's coming from. Because it's right here, you can see it, you can tweak it. But the fact it's not under there getting smashed by rocks means you're not really going to have a drama. So we've got vans. Actually, we've got an original Reconn here. We can probably give you a squiz at. 3 years old. Give you a bit of a look and see what it sort of looks like 3 years later. So this is a really neat feature. The accessibility, just the fact that you've got things like electronics is all inside out of the van. Yeah, it just makes a lot of sense. So this is a byproduct of having the bed up high as well. So if you pan down there, Daz, and just have a look real quick underneath, we'll get under here and slide under and have a good look later on. But you can see, where you would normally see water tanks and stuff down there, we've just got a single sheet of aluminium. So there's no penetrations through the floor, so nowhere for dust or water to come up into. We don't have water tanks hanging down. We don't have hose fittings or any of those plastic fittings to get smashed off. It's very, very durable. Like I say, I'll slide under there later. This one's been tricked up with the latest Cruise Master ATX air suspension. It's the top of the range air suspension, so I'll slide under there and show you that later, but it gives you an idea of the water tanks in there. So same deal on this side, a nice big opening sort of side door. I guess the one of the points to note here is we can do the Reconns in 3 colours. We can do it in a white, this silver, or we can do it in this charcoal colour. Charcoal is really, really popular. We get a lot of, I don't know how many it would be, but it'll be probably 70% of them would be charcoal. Personally, I like the whites. Well, I suppose maybe like the Icon, but we'll have a, we'll probably have an R4, an R410 coming down soon. That'll be in the white, so we'll show you that maybe in the next video. So the other side, moving further to the other side, you can see here's probably a good spot to see where the actuator goes up. So this is to raise and lower the roof. This is an option. It's an electric actuation system. I suppose if you've got back problems or you've got issues with lifting or lowering, I guess some people can't use their arms above their head for different reasons. This is just push a button and the whole thing goes up. Push a button and it comes down. And we get the comment a lot that people sort of say, well, what happens if it fails? Obviously we've thought of that. The guys at Lifestyle have, within the design, implemented a simple system where we've got that small screw right at the top there. If it's a case of the roof's down and it fails, we pull that screw out and then it just goes back to a manual system. And then on the top of the roof there's a plate that you can remove so it fails when it's up. You can slide the roof down and just take the plate off and the actuators go through the roof. And the whole thing just goes back to a manual system. In saying that, we certainly for us, to my knowledge, we haven't had anyone caught out in the middle of nowhere with the actuators poking up through the roof or anything weird. So, but it's just there as a precaution. When you get out in the middle of the desert somewhere, you just got to think of these things in advance. Outside shower. So, outside shower is standard. Pretty straightforward. Seen one, seen them all. Little shower nozzle, hot and cold water, all lockable. You know, I've seen all sorts of portable tents. You can just hang these up. We can do a flip out style tent. It's on the Icon. There's a few different brands out there that sort of make them. But yeah, we've got a nice sort of space here where we can mount that up if need be. So even quicker for set up and pack up. That just all winds back in there. Close it up. Lock it in there. Hot water system, so that's your exhaust for your hot water. Pretty straightforward. Truma gas hot water system, work really well. These little covers, we sort of recommend you put a little screw or something in the side. These are usually a casualty off-road, but that's not unique to us. It's anyone that runs those systems. But they work really well. Just a simple switch inside and it turns on. Now with this layout, the Dinette layout, we've got a nice big tunnel boot. You can see there the fridge slide on the other side. I'll sort of show you how that works. Straightforward, slides out, but you've got a huge space in here. This is ideal for if you've got a barbecue or something like that. Put it in here. But anyone that's had a caravan is probably familiar with a tunnel boot. It's kind of got some different advantages. But just storage is the big flavour of everything we do here, as you can sort of see. LED lighting throughout. You can see all our electrics is all neat and tidy. It's all sort of convoluted tube and tied up out of the way. Nothing's going to get torn off or wrecked. All our switching. Now we've got LED lights on the outside, but then on this one here we've got our dust suppression system. So basically turn that on inside here, and this just runs an automotive style filter that sort of sits in there. It's like a panel filter, like on your air filter on your car, and then this cover squashes that into position. So that we've got a high quality paper air filter, the same as you would on your car, to filter the air as you travel along. So in this sort of space here, relatively clean air, but still dusty. It'll filter it and then pressurise the cabin and give, when you turn this on, you can feel some of the edges and just a little, I suppose if you get a nick in the rubber or something like that, it'll just prevent dust from getting through and give you a positive pressure inside the cabin, so it's forced by way of an electric fan. So these work really, really well. They do need maintenance. If you don't know how to maintain them properly and how to reset the filter and how to locate it so it's not going to leak, give us a call. We'll show you through it all. But they're really simple, really effective, work really, really well. They need I can't stress it enough, they need constant maintenance though. It is a dust filter that's sucking in the dust. Its whole purpose in life is to draw in dust, filter it and pressurise the cabin. So just like your car, you've got to give it a lot of maintenance, a lot of care, a lot of attention. But if you look after it, the thing will look after the van well, and you won't get any dust inside. So all compression locks on throughout the whole thing. Got little pole storage, so you can't see anything through there, but basically, trust me, there's pole storage. Chuck your poles and bits and pieces in there. It is as it sounds. These are probably one thing to note with these. These are a bit of a, I suppose, an item that you just got to reverse. You got to spin it backwards until you find that little spot, and then thread it in. And then when you thread it in, you want to make sure it's nice and tight, because we do have it where they undo themselves. So if they're located and seated in there, they'll sit against the seal. There we go. So usually as I travel, I just get out and test it, like check it each time I hop out of the car, make sure it hasn't rattled loose. I mean, they might seem painful, but they work really well in the sense that they seal really well. Pretty simple system. So jerry can storage. So this is with the jerry cans laying down. There's maybe talk that they might be going to a system where they'll stand up, but regardless, most jerry cans these days have the edge chopped off them, so whether they're laying down or standing up doesn't matter, they're not going to leak.
We've just had a suggestion to maybe use a mic or a bit louder voice,
can't hear
Ryan.
me.
So we've got Edmundo there.
Oh, you
so
can't.
Thanks, Edmundo. We'll get him to talk louder.
I'll add it to my kit. This is our first one, mate. So we'll definitely get something in and we'll add it to the next one. So I appreciate it. If you can't hear me, just sing out and I'll try and speak louder. So at the front here, you've got two 4.5 kilo gas bottles. You've got your regulator. There's a little selector switch there at the top. So that's so you can choose between either bottle. Idea being, you use one bottle until it obviously is completely empty, and then you flick across and you know you've got to grab a bottle next time you're passing through town. All we use is the hot water and the cooker. So one gas bottle should last you, realistically probably a month on the road. Everyone's different though, so you just got to manage it. You can buy little level gauges and stuff like that, so keep an eye on that. But 2 bottles behind this stone guard, and it's lockable, nice and secure. It's all ventilated, so pretty straightforward. Rather than having them sitting here on the drawbar where the UV gets into them and the rocks, it's all tucked away and locked up. So another nice little feature. We've got these sacrificial stone guards, so you can see they're just screwed on. These cop an absolute hiding. So they're just a powder coated metal, and ideally, I guess 2-3 years if you wanted to. If you want to keep it looking spick and span, you can change these out. And nowadays you can get stone stompers and stuff as well. So probably not all that often you need to change it, but you can see everything here is designed to get smashed by rocks. They're gonna cop a hard time. We've got mud flaps on the front. We protect all underneath. This is what we do. So big drawbar. So nice big galvanised drawbar. So all made up in Brizzy. Galvanised locally over in I don't know where it is. Somewhere up North Brisbane or something. I think it is. So this all gets welded and fabricated in-house at Lifestyle. They build the whole thing themselves and send it off to get galvanised. Comes back and then it gets fitted out with all the bits and pieces on it. We've got a DO35 hitch standard. So anyone that goes off-road is familiar with a DO35, the best hitch on the market. Can't beat them. Just the sort of hitch that you'll never have to think about it again, just works. Our Breakaway Controller. So because we're over 2 tonne, we run a Breakaway Controller. In New South Wales, we also have a little monitor that connects to this via Bluetooth, so you can monitor the batteries. It just uses the house batteries of the camper to drive the Breakaway. So if you can imagine, if you're travelling and the whole thing goes pear-shaped and this manages to shoot out just by pulling on this lanyard, it applies the brakes electrically onto the trailer, independent of the vehicle. So that's a legal requirement. It's on there. Arc jockey wheel, my opinion, but I reckon one of the best jockey wheels on the market. Certainly out of the box. There's upgraded options if you want to be able to lift the camper, but just an out of the box industry jocker wheel to come standard on a trailer. I think it's pretty hard to beat something like this. They're just super durable, easy to push around, it's really, really adjustable, so work really well. Keep going around. So other side's the same as what I showed you on the other side. Whole storage jerry can holder. This side you've got your slide, so we can run a big sort of 80, 85, even 90 litre fridge on here. It's a massive big slide. Comes with spare wheel covers. Like I said, this one's just turned up, so it's got all sorts of gear in it. Steps. This looks like the air hose for the air suspension. All your hitches and bits and pieces. So it's a little kit that comes out of the box with all this stuff. But obviously you'd have your fridge living on there. Same deal, compression locks. So our door, it's just a off the shelf, I think it's maybe Kamek or Dinette or something door. Off the shelf door. This is the other reason why the dust suppression's probably handy, is you can imagine they run these doors on on-road caravans, off-road caravans, all sorts of stuff. They, I guess to some extent they're just a door, they're built to a price. But in saying that, the seals on them are okay. I'll just say they're okay. They do the job maybe 85%, 90% of the time. But the dust suppression will help let's say you close this door and this gets caught or something like that. Instead of the dust flowing through there, the dust suppression will actually blow the air out through the seal so that you won't get dust accumulating or coming in. It's just another little advantage. These doors also, if you lift the handle, turn into a screen door, so they separate, turns into a screen door. Security mesh as well, so you can lock that up if you want to go for a walk or have lunch somewhere or whatever else, without some ventilation. We fit them with these, or Lifestyle fit them with these blinds, so that's just when the door's shut, because you've got that window. Put the blind there so you're not putting on a show when you're getting changed. But that's just something they add at the factory there. So inside, right, so inside we've got a dinette, so this is a dinette model. We've got our trifold table, comes out, we can do all sorts of different layouts in here. We're testing a few different colours and we're bringing out some new features, so we'll have them coming out sort of over time, you'll start seeing them, but for now this is the go-to standard layout. Works really, really well for couples. 2 or 3 people can sit in here and have dinner if it's miserable outside. It's got no linen in here, so it's a bit echoey, but we've got our inner spring mattress, queen size, full inner spring, full size, so you can see here it's what's that, a 250 odd mil mattress. It's Cairo Tech. Anyway, it's a decent mattress at the end of the day. One of the best things about camping with something like this is you get a decent night's sleep. So this makes a big, big difference. LED lighting throughout. Got all our storage at the front end. So obviously all your clothes and bits and pieces can all live in there. Got these nice big windows. So you open them up. This probably help with the acoustics as well. Roll them up. And then just tuck them in. You run that the whole way around. Get some ventilation through. If it's raining, usually I just sort of crack it open a little bit. So obviously it's just going to allow some airflow but not the rain. That's all you need. We've got vents in each corner. Usually get some decent airflow in here anyway. If you whip around, so these lights as well, probably another little hidden feature that not many people notice, is we run it on a normal switch down by the door, but so we can flick them on and off here, you know, pretty normally, whatever. But the lights themselves actually have a little touch button on them, so you can turn them on and off. So what that means is on the bed, if you can imagine, if you're sitting up there at bed, rather than having to crawl back down and turn the light switch off at the door, you can hit the switch or touch the light itself and just flick them off. So good for reading and stuff like that. You've also got a little point in the corner there. So yeah, you can plug in LED lights and stuff like that. So more storage. So Down here you've got drawers, full set of drawers. You might have to back out, guys. We've got more drawers, so you've got a full set of drawers here, they all lock. So we've got these little push-in locks. Under the seat, I'll show you here first. Seat out. So you can see here you've got a little porta potty door. So you can slide the porta potty out if you want to use it, if that's your flavour. And then otherwise, you've got your hot water system and your outside shower you would have saw over here. So gas hot water system, seen one, seen them all. So inside, that's sort of it. As I said, we can do multiple layouts. This one's got air suspension, so we've got our little air suspension controls. We can raise and lower the van. Work really well. So if you've experienced or used air suspension, you'll know that comes in really handy. Works really well. Cruise Master are the leaders in this sort of space, so they do a great job. So underneath, so what I might do now, so I'll slide under. I'll grab the camera off Daz. Oh, get our little creeper. I'm trying to be a mechanic. I'm just McCalling. So as you can see, all checker plate, galvanised chassis. Now if we scoot over here, you can see this new ATX airbag suspension. So this is the best stuff they make. All adjustable, all camber and car star adjustable. Works really well, but you can see all the attention to detail under here. Nothing's going to get torn off. It's all behind the chassis rails. Nice big bore shocks, remote res shocks. So this suspension's nuts. Yeah, go up, Daz. You see how it works, there you go. And go all the way down. Go all the way down on the other side. That sounds a bit ordinary. Needs some use. So yeah, that's the advantage of it. If you go back up, Daz. There you go. So you imagine you pull into camp, just flick that compressor off. So you imagine you pull into camp, you've got, I don't know, maybe 100, 120 mil or so each side adjustment. You know, if you pull in and you've got a pretty ordinary, if you're not real good at picking campsites, and you've got a bit of an ordinary slant, you can make those adjustments. Anyone who's met me knows that I'm about 9 feet tall as well, so for me anyway, I can raise it up and raise the height of the kitchen bench. And then likewise, anyone who's met Alison, my wife, knows she's about 3 feet high. She can lower it down as well, so lots of little advantages. Don't tell her I said that. So don't mind me just crawling around under here. You can see all the handiwork. These guys just take a lot of time and energy making sure it's all Mickey Mouse. Everything's done properly. So yeah, as I say, this is just the customer's one. We haven't done anything special here. This one's just turned up off a tow truck. Got the air tank there as well. So there's a little valve under there to drain it. Right, that's enough crawling around. Yeah, we might do the roof. So we'll lower that down. So we've got this little elastic cord that sucks in the canvas or the vinyl. All you got to do, so if Daz pushes the button, it's got a little button. That's it. You just want to let it go. So it'll, as you can see, it'll start coming down. I might go around the other side to sort of show you. So yeah, you can see it's starting to go down. Just works really well. Sort of 90 seconds or so. Drops down. Takes all the pain out of setting up and packing up. So all you got to do is walk around, make sure that vinyl doesn't get caught in the, we call them scissors, because that's what they do. If you get your vinyl caught in there, it'll just slice them open. But yeah, just wander around, sort of check it all out, make sure nothing's going to get jammed in there. But this one's a cracker. This is an awesome looking van. Looks really good. While that's going down, I'll just quickly show you through our other Reconn we got here. So this one's set up, it's a double bunk, or triple bunk rather. So you can see, oh, who's pushed old Lammy over? Alison likes that lamb, it sort of creeps her out a little bit. So you've got the bunk on top and the bunk down below. Obviously we've got the one made up. This one's got, it's got ducted aircon, I think. Yeah, it's got the Truma ducted aircon system under the seat. That's all your controls for your hot water system and the aircon. But as you can see, nice big queen size bed, heaps of space. And then like I said, this one's got a little crawl through. So that's the storage area that I was showing you before. I'll duck outside and show you from the other end. So it's not common. I'm not going to lie, it's not common we do this, but if you've got a larger family, there's not too many crowds out there that offer any sort of triple bunk setup in a little hybrid like this. So although it's not all that common for people to select it, if you're in this situation where you've got a few little ones and you need 3 bunks, you know, we can tick the box, we can do it. So you've got the windows there, you can open them, got fly screens on them, just sort of wind them out. So as you can see, you get some ventilation. Actually, you know, it does the job justice quite well. So, and then you can open this door, and if, you know, let's say they grow up, it just turns back into a storage area. So it works quite well. They just crawl through there. We can set this up with bedding and a mattress and all the rest of it. You know, it'll be a bit hard sort of sleeping on that, but you get the idea. Same deal, you've seen all this in the other one. So all the water tanks, everything all above floor level. Everything's up out of the way.
I'll pull the roof back on this one.
Yeah, so Daz is just going to pull this one down, give you a bit of an idea. Obviously those actuators are optional, but if you can imagine, so it just comes down, and as it comes down, just gently drop it so that the canvas sucks itself in, and then going up's just as easy. Pretty straightforward. Just give it a bit of a shove and the gas struts and the springs will push it up. So I mean, it's almost too easy. You know, you pull into camp, you pop open that door, you lift the roof, there's 4 clips on that roof, you lift the roof, and you got to throw your step out, sorry, as well. It's, but you know, about a minute later, you're done. Flick a switch, turn your hot water on. If you've got a barbecue swing out table, you can pull that out. Extra gas point on the back, all sorts of things like that. So if you've got any questions or anything, just flick them through. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping it up. Gives you a bit of an idea. Sort of shows you through how they all work and some of the features. As I say, we've only got two. We've got this this older one here as well. I'll just sort of give you a look underneath this one if I can. Oh. So you can see here, this is turn the light on. It's about 3 years old. So you can see there, you know, we haven't, I mean, you can believe us if you like, but we haven't detailed this thing. This is how it's turned up. This guy's, he loves his unit. He's buying an R4. He's sort of selling this one to get in the bigger R4. But you can see after 3 years of use, everything's all in good nick. It's not full of dust, not full of rocks. It's all been protected. You can just sort of see the use that it's had just on some of the marks and things. But you know, these things are built for it. So underneath, you know, everything's held up. does the job well. So this will go on to somebody else and they'll get another 3 years good use out of it, and that's the beauty of this Aussie made stuff. It just lasts a long time. So that's it, guys. Unless you've got any questions or you want me to show you anything in particular. Well, as I say, we'll start doing this maybe once a week, once a fortnight. Show you through. I mean, we've got the Icon. We've got the Reconn R4 coming. Be next week, I think. The dual axle, the big dual axle. We get trailers coming and going all the time, customers' trailers. So if there's something in particular you want to see, I can do a live video, show you through. You can ask questions. I can answer them if you can't get here, if you're at work, whatever it is. Maybe just a more interactive way of us talking to people. And then, of course, don't forget, we also do all the Patriot Campers range. So I'd say next week or the week after, we might do a run through on an X1 or X1H, answer any questions you got there. That's it. Appreciate you tuning in. If you've got any questions in the meantime, even if you're not watching it live, just drop it in the comments below. I'll get some photos and videos and flick them through to you. But otherwise, appreciate you watching and happy camping. Ta.